Perez here, Campbell Horsemanship. I'm coming to you today on Skipper. And the first thing I want to say is if you have the luck to learn on a horse like Skipper in your lifetime, then you are very, very lucky. So I know a lot of you do have really nice, quiet, seasoned horses to work with. So as a little follow-up to my warm-up video, the first thing I am going to work on is a horse that's maybe a little dull to the leg or needing more leg cue. So these are the sweet, well-broke, sometimes older horses, and just through their life, they have learned to kind of take it easy. They don't need to put in as much. So Skipper here, she does everything from little wee kids like 4 or 5-year-olds to teaching an adult to jump a 2'6" course. So she is an absolute all-arounder, amazing horse. But she does require either the kid to totally kind of shut off and she's taking over, or if it's an adult rider or an older rider, they do actually have to use the proper amount of leg. So I'm going to demonstrate that a little bit. I for sure want you to know and have watched the first video, the warm-up video, and know the content. And watch that content and really know that content well. So in that video I showed not riding my horse really well, kind of shutting my body off, and you can tell how badly Skipper wants to cut in the middle. If I'm shutting my body off and I'm not moving my body at all, my horse just breaks down and heads for the middle. And she's a lesson horse. She knows the middle is where we get to rest while someone else takes a turn. So those are just little habits that she's picked up from the students riding her. They're no fault of her own. If we're riding our horse, we're training it good and bad. It doesn't really matter. If we are teaching something good or we're teaching something bad, we're training our horses. So sometimes students just teach things they don't even realize they're teaching. So because she is a student horse, I like to put a ride on her every now and then. And I haven't ridden her. She's had a couple weeks off here. So this is kind of her little refresher ride. But I thought I'd film it for you guys, for the ones that maybe I put my legs on my horse and legitimately nothing happens. She's a really good one to show. So her walk is not going to be Harley's walk. But I want a good moving walk. I'm asking for it. I really legitimately have no idea what she's looking at in that corner, but that's horses for you. So I'm just looking for kind of a good walk. If she gets distracted in the corner, I want to just kind of keep moving. So just like in the first video, you'll see that my seat is moving with her. I'm looking where I'm going, and she is moving out pretty nicely. I'll do a little bit of a turn. So right here is one of those moments where I'm actually going to use a little bit of spur or a little more leg. She's not doing what I'm asking. There it is. 1, 2, 4, and well done. So those are those moments where either somebody's been pressing too many buttons or she just hasn't had that done in a little while. Now over here where she's kind of gawking in the corner, I'm actually going to turn her that way. Do 2 things at once. So I'm going to ask, turn, turn, turn. Walk forward. You can tell that time she was way more responsive. And I think she's also a lot better on the left too, so that could be part of that. So I kind of got her to do something else in that corner that she was interested in, and that could just get their attention back on you. So there's 2 ways to motivate a horse that will not go forward. So what I mean by won't go forward is maybe I sit here and I did this, and I got 1, 2, 3, sometimes sort of walk walked on, but you can tell the walk was really sad. And maybe my leg strength is this. We see this lots of kids. You can tell nothing's happening. But you can also tell nothing's touching the horse. So sometimes we're squeezing super hard. We're like, why will this horse not go? And I'm squeezing as hard as I can because I'm not touching the horse. So as soon as I touch the horse, I didn't have to touch very hard. So that's first thing you need to check. Am I actually, yes, she's very pretty. Allie, my camera girl, is super interesting. And you can see she's a little bit easily distracted today. Hasn't been doing well. So that's a big thing to check. Am I actually touching my horse? Because if I'm not putting, I'm going to put a left spur on right now, putting a leg on a big horse like this, she's not going to move. Okay? Second part, do I need spurs? So I have like the littlest baby spur. I don't know if you can see that there. But teeny tiny, itty bitty little spur. Because I can control my legs really well, I am allowed to wear spurs. In our program, you're actually given your spurs, and girls and boys have to work very hard in order to get their spurs. So what you don't want to happen is if I get my horse going too fast and I clamp on because I don't have good leg control, I don't want to have a problem. So her parents or somebody check to see if you're able to wear spurs. We're going to do a little exercise just to check. So do this without any spurs. I'm going to obviously just keep them on because I have them on. We're going to kind of go lose our stirrups. Walk forward. And once we're comfortable walking, after a little bit of trot, again, no spurs. And if we can trot around, staying in balance, keep my horse going, use my spurs, horse going, trot around in balance, and we're not kind of clamping and doing this, then maybe do a little cantering too, but then you probably can wear some small little spurs. Bumper spurs are good too for kids. They don't have any sharp pieces and they're more just to the side. Another thing to check is, do my toes point forward during my ride, and does my seat stay pretty stable? Okay, so if you're still in the stage where, my legs are a little slippery, or when I get going fast, I still start losing my seat, you do not want to wear spurs, even if your horse is really, really quiet, okay guys? So the second way is actually with a lunge whip, or a drop, I mean. And I'll show that at the end a little bit. But that's the second way. So how we're going to motivate with either our trot or our spurs is when I ask for a transition, I'm going to count. So I'm going to ask for trot and I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. That took too long. Okay? So I'm not going to punish my horse or anything. I'm just going to come down. And I'm going to ask for trot. Ask. 1, 2. That was better. I did ask for the spur. Okay? So that was a better transition. Come down. Walk. And I want her to continue to walk. Make sure she's not stopping at the end. Get ready here. I'm going to ask. That was about 3. And again, I asked with the spur. Inside this transition, I'm going to ask again for a bigger trot. So there's transitions inside your transitions. Bigger trot, bigger trot. And I didn't ask with the spur. And I am posting the trot, freeing her back up a little bit. So if I get her thinking more forward, maybe that transition will be more forward. I'm going to ask without the spurs. And trot. I didn't like that. That took about 5. I didn't ask for the spur. And you can just tell the difference. I think Skipper actually kind of likes the spurs a little bit. But anyways, I'm going to keep that transition in. Keep all take her the other way a little bit. And I'm just going to make a note while I'm taking her the other way. It is freezing here, which is why I'm riding her in a halter. And you can see all our lovely little snow-capped thingies and all of that. It is below -30 here right now. So it is cold, but I'm trying to get you guys some content to watch over Christmas. So I would usually be wearing a helmet. It's just too cold. She's riding in a halter, so I'm just trying to get you guys something to watch over Christmas season. It is Christmas Eve today. So I hope everybody does have a really good Christmas. I get to be with family and loved ones, and hopefully get to do something fun. So here I'm going to ask. That was a pretty good response, but I did use her. Walk. Ask the legs. Too slow. Walk up again. So you can see how long this might take. If I was the one riding her every day, this would take this long. So this is her refresh just as much. That there's been kids riding her that are not really riding or don't have leg strength. But she's just kind of taking over. Back down, not very long. 1, 2, better. And I feel like her trot's coming along ways. I'm not asking as much, but she's giving a bit more. And it is freezing in here, so it does take them that long time to warm up their bodies as well. But I hope that really helps you guys. Don't be afraid for a horse that likes to put leg on. Don't be afraid to put leg on. I do want to address one thing. If your horse won't go forward and it's not a seasoned horse like Skipper, and maybe they start going backwards or sideways, or you're feeling other things like tense back, pinned ears, do not do this. Abort the mission, go back to a lot of groundwork, and wait till you have a trainer to decide if you're able to ride it or they are, because what can happen is that the horse is shut down, and when they come alive, they will bronc or go really, really fast. So make sure that this isn't a young green horse problem and not a seasoned horse like Skipper who just needs that extra leg and that extra encouragement to get going. Okay, so that's for you guys. Be safe. You know, if you got a younger horse that isn't going forward, this probably isn't the exact exercise to use. This is for a really, really quiet horse like Skipper here to get moving and to keep moving, okay? Right, so the second way, if I don't feel comfortable riding with spurs, my legs aren't quite there, the second way is to have a little lunge up. So first off, when you're holding this, you want to hold it in a way that comes here. I have these big fat mittens on, so I can't really show you the finger. But I would usually wrap my finger around, and I want to make sure that it's coming back here, not up here, not accidentally whacking my horse, that I actually have it pretty steady unless I'm using it, okay? So now my cue is actually going to be, one, I ask, two, I still nothing, quick little thing, good, and it's pretty exuberant, so I was ready for that, right? They're walking away from a crop instead of your feet. This is actually the main reason I do prefer spurs, because it's so much smoother, but I know this is a safe enough horse. If I go like this, and I get my feet, even if I got to use a fork, that's perfectly fine. Skipper knows what this is from the students, so sometimes you just gotta hold it. We're gonna do that one more time. So we're gonna ask with the leg, but with a very light leg. You can tell I'm barely asking, but that's about the pressure that a regular beginner rider has. So I ask. Oh, and then got a little tightness there. And that's what you do want to be holding on. That's about as spicy as you can get. But you can also tell that her trot is really good. So that might be something that happens with your guys' horses too. Right? Skipper far prefers the spurs as well to this method. But now I want to just say, without the leg, and that I use absolutely no leg and no you don't want to end up where I can't ride this horse without having this, because she won't move. Because she's smart enough to go, ha, you don't have it, I'm not going to move today. Okay, so after using it, I'm going to ditch it. I'm going to go back. I'm not going to use the spur. But maybe I use my leg a little, as hard as I could if I was a beginner rider. And I go, good. Right, and I want to check to make sure that I can still move her off. And that I'm doing all the things in the first video. I'm looking, I'm moving with my horse. I've got some energy in my body, I'm looking where I want to go, and I'm getting this horse excited to go there, okay? So those are just little things that you can use. Everybody's horses are different. If your horse isn't quite like Skipper and moving a little bit differently, there might be different things that you need to do. But I think if you count, if you really pay attention, if you use either little baby spurs or a stick, you will feel so much better. And then the other thing is you want to build up a little bit of endurance in your horse. So I can tell the second that I sat on Skipper, she's a little out of shape. She, like I said, has had a couple weeks off. And before that, it was mostly beginners riding her, so she wasn't doing really hard sessions. So if I really had bigger expectations for her, like maybe I want to complete a reining pattern, or I want to jump a course of jumps, I would need to put, 3 or 4 good rides on her a week to build that endurance level back up. All right, guys, I am freezing. Thank you so much for checking in. We'll talk soon. Bye.